Okay, so here we are again.
Ooh, I'm very excited.
Absolutely, yeah.
It took a while to set everything up.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, we changed location for recording, and we spent a little bit of time, probably too long, just getting organized.
Well, as you can see, we are amateur. We are not professional doing all this stuff.
That's right. If we can do this, you can too, believe me.
Yeah, we got some tape underneath the thing, so we kind of tape this thing together, right?
It's pretty good though, like now it's all clean and good looking, thanks to Jeannie.
So the reason we want to change our studio is because we want to show our monitor here, and then so you can follow along and see what we are talking about today.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Jermaine?
Well, okay, so I think we've gone through some videos, some good information, and I think maybe now it's important to do a little bit of a recap.
Okay.
Like I said, good information, but let's make sure it falls into place and it makes sense for you, the viewers. So why don't we go right back to square one, and why are we doing this in the first place?
Well, why we are doing this is because we have a message that we want to share with our fellow boomers. People born between 1946 to 1964. That's us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But let's do a reality check. How are the boomers doing, Jermaine? What do you think?
Some boomers are doing okay.
Very little.
Yeah.
Right?
But unfortunately, if we rely on the statistics, or actually just real people out there, too many people are not doing so well, financially speaking.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the 36% of boomer plan to rely on Social Security. And Social Security, they are not getting bigger.
That's right.
Medical security, they are not getting more of it.
Yeah.
Right? So can you imagine being sick and being poor and being alone and being a lot of things like when you think about, I mean, talking to some of the boomers, they just afraid of being old now.
Yeah.
They can't grow old gracefully.
Yeah.
And that will be very, very sad.
Working so hard for 30, 35, 40 years,
Yeah.
hoping to be able to enjoy life on your terms, and it's not happening.
No, and you said a good word, on their turn, on our turn.
Yeah.
That was the life goal for a lot of boomers, and working so hard and now when we think of it, we see boomers, okay, with financial worries.
Yeah.
With financial insecurity. If they're still working, they feel insecure because their job are replaced by robot or people half their age, right? And perhaps you are a sole income earner. You are alone, you are all by yourself, and then you're lying awake at night and thinking and worrying, like, am I gonna have to work until 70 years old?
Yeah.
Right? And that wouldn't be too good. And
No, not too attractive. In fact, a bit discouraging.
it's very depressing, actually, if you ask me.
That's a better word. Depressing, it is.
Yeah. So like a lot of boomers are uncertain about their futures and worry about shrinking standard of living,
Yeah.
thinking that the older you get, the worse you're gonna get.
Yeah, and I remember also you mentioned earlier about the sandwich generation, right?
Oh,
Boomers being
yes.
stuck between their kids still needing some help and this and that, and their aging parents.
Yeah, and then there's a saying that boomer is gonna be the first generation that we're gonna be abandoned. That's the bad word, abandoned by our next generation. Is that we are still looking after our parents,
Right.
if they're still alive, and then we have the younger generation to look after. But we will be the first generation that being abandoned. So we are responsible for our future, for our golden age.
Yeah, because our kids don't really have time for us anymore. They
No.
move on
And there's less of them. We cannot
yes,
expect.
good point.
Yeah, there's less of them. So we have to take responsibility. That is a big word.
Yes, yes, and sometimes it's scary too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, right? But that's why we are here. We have a solution for boomers. Jermaine?
And we do, absolutely. It might be difficult to believe, to understand, But again, we're talking about boomers, and I'm just going to round up the numbers. Basically, you're looking at between the age of 50 all the way to approaching 70 right now. And you may think, I missed the boat. You may be thinking there's no time left, but there is, and that's the good news, is there is still time to achieve financial security. In video one, we talked, whoops, I'm sorry, I'm going too fast here. Here we go. So in video one, we talked about several options, and there are some good options out there, but not all of them attractive given the age bracket, given how many years we have to go, given the amount of investment that might be required for a good investment. And if you really do a very methodical review of so many deemed to be options out there, really by default we have to exclude many of them, again, because they require too much time, they require too much money, maybe they're too risky or too involved or whatever. So it boils down to what are the options that are realistically available. And we discussed in great details why the industry of network marketing really represents a very good, a very attractive, and a very fun.
Yes.
I know it's important for you, right? A very fun option whereby you also have a minimum investment at the beginning, a very minimum startup cost. You can be based from home, which is what most of us are looking for, tired of being in a corporate cubicle environment.
That's right.
It also offers a great income opportunity. It's not a guarantee, but it really offers the potential. So it's nice to know that you're not capped at $15 an hour or even $25 an hour if you wanted to.
That's right.
And the last point is so important for all of us, this ability to create recurring income.
Oh,
and
yes.
In video 2, I believe we talked about, if you had $2.5 million in the bank at 4%, that would be barely enough to afford you a lifestyle.
Yeah, but who has 2.4 million?
Yes, exactly.
Right? Tucking away, not me.
So a good option or a good alternative, if
Yes.
you will, it's instead of having that kind of money in the bank, because most of us can't do that, it's the ability to generate on a residual basis, on a recurring basis, the equivalent of 100,000 or so a year.
Yeah.
And again, if done right, and we always say this so very carefully, but if done right, network marketing really offers that possibility, and that's exciting.
That's very exciting, because if you think about all this option, which you say so well, is that there's not really that many options that offer this kind of benefit.
Yeah.
Low investment and low risk, home base, anywhere you got Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
you can still do this, and then the social aspect of it, right? And the great income potential. Yeah, where are you gonna find something that is not 9 to 5 and still using your circle of influence and still the possibility of generate a
Yeah.
5 to 6 figure
Yeah.
recurring income.
Yeah.
Like money in the bank, a money machine, right? That is so awesome.
And it's doing something also, and let's move on to the next slide here. It's doing something that is also fun, and where you can not just be by yourself, but also work with other people, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
This slide too.
Yeah.
No, Jermaine, I mean, this slide, you have to change. Next page.
Oh, okay. I need to change next page. There we go. Thank you.
I taking care of this one.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're getting confused with the clickers. Okay, here we go.
Okay. So in video 2,
Mhm.
we talk about how to select, choose wisely, right?
Yeah.
So can you recap a little bit?
Absolutely. And well said, actually. Choose wisely. There is still time, but there is not time for 3 or 4 or 5, attempt at success. We need to hit it right.
Right, that's right.
And so we discussed about network marketing being a good option, but once you've sort of opened up to those possibilities, it's how do you pick the right company for you in terms of what you are compatible with, what you can really comfortably endorse in terms of a product or a service, and to understand the difference between endorsing a product or a service. Product being a lot easier. to endorse a product that is durable or consumable. And again, in our industry, because of the business model, it's way easier to work with a consumable product. And again, if you want the details about what all of that means, please go back to
Video number 2.
Video number 2, correct. We also talked about it is better for all sorts of reasons that is very specific to the industry to work with a product that is deemed to be a specialty product, as opposed to a commodity, which could be, for instance, internet services is deemed to be a commodity, mostly driven by price, not by the quality of the service, as opposed to, for instance, nutritional supplement that are really deemed to be an emotional purchase. So it's easier and better from a business perspective to work with a specialty product. And last point about selecting the company that is right for you is, do you go for a company that is private or public? Although this is not one of the top selection criteria, it's still very attractive to be teaming up with a publicly traded company because it allows you to do your research. It allows you to get access to all of that information, and you know it's accurate.
That's right. You want to get paid, because if you team up with a private company, well, I don't know about their finance, and it's not transparent. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And and also startup versus established company.
Yeah, and why is that so important?
Well, because there's a lot of risks with a startup company, and usually they don't really last too long. And when you just establish your network, your organization, if they want to belly up, and what are you gonna do? Because that's the time.
That would be disastrous, right?
It is. It will be.
You imagine if you happen to be doing well with a company, but that particular company goes under.
And the main thing for me, Jermaine, I think it's the personal reputation and the integrity. Because how can you just bring the people, your people, to different company, right?
That's right.
So selecting the right company is so very important for us boomers. Maybe the younger people, they have more time to make more mistakes, but we don't want you to make the mistake that a lot of people to make, right?
And we just want to let you know that there is a lot of very good companies out there. So some of you may already be teamed up with a company, and so if that's the case, high five to you guys.
Yes.
You know, and you know, stay the course, absolutely. And some of you may actually be looking for a company to work with, and as I'm sure you suspect, Jeannie and I actually are teamed up with a company. We're really proud of it. We're really excited about it.
And we are with the same company for 20 years.
Absolutely. Right. So if you're looking for a home, and if you don't know where to go, and if you'd like to know what it is that, you know, what company we're teamed up with, then of course you're invited to get in touch with us, and you know, we can have that discussion with you.
Of course. So
next slide.
Including
on this, I'm getting good at this.
Yes. And in video 3, we talk about, you know, some of the reason why we want to get involved with the network marketing company. And
because I think most people think it's all about money and only about money, right?
Yeah, and then the thing is a lot of work, a lot of persuasion, a lot of convincing, a lot of learning to do, right? But actually not, because I think the first criteria, you know, it's on our screen, is having fun.
Yeah.
Because at boomers' age now, we can emphasize boomers, because if we don't have fun, we're not doing this. Why are we doing all this stuff, right? And if we are not having, help me with this, having fun. What else?
Well, we are having fun. Give me a high five.
Well, sometimes I still get nervous talking about on the camera, right? We get to learn and we get to teach, because we have so much experience, we have so much the know-how to share with the younger generation, with our fellow boomers. And so the mentorship is another thing that it gives the sense of achievement, sense of credibility, you know, and you know, other than the extra income, and also giving back, having purpose, serving the community, okay? And I think we cover most of it. And what else?
Well, and on that note, you know, as you grow your team, and again, we're sort of humble here, Jeannie and I, but we have tens of thousands of people on our team. So we have the opportunity to work with people from all walks of life. And I am at a point in my career where, and I really mean this, I learn more from my team than I can teach them. People bring their expertise, their experience, their know-how, and I'm just in awe in terms of, sometimes when we have a little bit of a brainstorming session or a workshop or work goal planning exercise, or even just when Jeannie and I have conversations and she says something and I go, oh, yes, absolutely, how come I didn't think about that before? So it's not about being an expert. I really believe that it's about being an expert student, just being open. And you've said that many times before, it's about being skeptically open by asking questions, by not being afraid of asking those questions, so that you become more and more comfortable with the information and you own it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
That's so beautifully said, because to put ourselves into this environment that will provide a lifelong learning experience. If you're not learning, you are not growing. You might as well dead. Well, no, sorry, I say it. No, if you're not progressing, I guess that's the better word to say now. Not the D word. Yeah, so that's why I think this is so fun for us doing this right now and choose this project to share with everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I want to address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And that is, so many of the viewers right now are thinking, oh yeah, it sounds very good, but I can't do this. Right?
Oh, I've done it before, been there, done
Or,
that.
yeah, exactly. And I want to share with you the reason why it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter about your nationality. It really doesn't even matter about your age or your background, or whether you were a stay-at-home parent for the last 30 years and you're trying to come back to the world. It does not matter. And the reason is, building a successful network marketing venture from home starts with you and your story.
Yes.
The story is what seals the deal. You might be working with a very good company, with a very good product, but why you? And so basically there is a way you can learn how to share your story, not to make it up, your story as is, just learning how to tell your story, to turn it into an inspiration for other people.
Yeah, because just being yourself, the real you. And a lot of time you think, like me, at the beginning, I'm thinking like, oh, who cares about my story? I don't have a great story. I mean, people have a wonderful story, but my story, right?
Yeah.
But so many times when I do share my story, I find that people, they get inspired, they are happy to hear, and they learn so much, because everybody got something to share and to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so at this age, it really, I'm being nervous, but I really don't give a damn about what people, think of me.
Yeah.
I just want to be myself. I just wanted to, it's okay to be myself. It's okay to
have had challenges in the past.
Yes.
To doubt your own ability to succeed, to feel that you're the oddball, to feel excluded, to feel like this is what makes a story so powerful. And you may wonder, well, how do I turn what you may think is a very ordinary day-to-day story, how do you turn that into an inspiring story? Is by adding one secret ingredient, and that secret ingredient is hope. You are now taking action. You have now committed to your own success. You have now decided to take ownership and to be accountable for your life from this point forward. And this is what makes your story, whatever your background, whatever your story, your past, is it takes that, you add hope, and you start actually getting some traction in terms of, you start experiencing a little bit of success, and people will look at you and say, oh, I can identify with what you're saying. I hear you. I see myself in you. All your struggles, all your difficulties, I see that, and now I also see that you are moving forward, and please count me in, because I like what you do, and you have become my hope.
Yeah.
And
my hero, right?
Yeah.
You will resonate. Your story will resonate with your tribe. Believe it. There are people looking for you, looking for a mentor just like you.
Yeah, exactly. And so network marketing comes in at the end of your story because you want to do something different. So now you've got your story, you had the courage, you were bold enough to tell the story, and you are bold enough to start taking action. But so many people don't know what action to take. So what do I do now? I'm committed. I want to do something different, but I don't know what. And this is when your network marketing company comes into play because they have the infrastructure, they have a good product, they have training, they have coaching, and you take that with your new commitment. And this is where the magic happens.
Yes, magic, truly. So the three very important components, Jermaine that's going to share with us, three essential components, which is other than choosing the right company, we have a tangible or mostly it's tangible product or service.
Absolutely.
And now, what's the last one?
Okay, so you could be like, for instance, the example that I think about all the time is you could put all the ingredients for a nice recipe, a nice meal before me, and you could give me all the tools, but you know what? That does not make me a chef. I am not gifted in the kitchen. I love food, but I am just not gifted or skilled in the kitchen. So even if you give me all the ingredients, even if you give me all the recipe and it's written, I'm not sure that by the time I'm done, it's gonna taste anything like or look anything like it's supposed to on the picture. In network marketing, it's a little bit the same way, except that I really believe that contrary to not everybody can be a chef, because you have a story to tell, everybody can be successful in network marketing. And of course, it assumes from the get-go that you are working with a good company, that company offers a good product, and you can really comfortably stand behind that. We've mentioned earlier, if you do not have a company to work with, if you are exploring and if you would like to know what Jeannie and I are doing or what company we're teamed up with, so please get in touch with us. But many of you are already teamed up, and again, stay the course. So the missing ingredient in this case is the system.
Yes.
Often a system is actually provided by your network marketing company, but again, it's in theory. And with our experience and the way we look at things and making sure that we have fun and making sure that we are really about people first, we've created this synergy, this energy, whereby people just feel, yeah, I want to learn. They're excited to learn. And this is basically what I would think makes Jeannie and I and the Boomers Freedom Formula so unique, is that it's really first and foremost about people, about, you said earlier, a tribe, about a community, about like-minded people that are on the same page. It's just that. Same concerns, same issues. Why don't we just all get together and start moving forward in a direction that is attractive to all of us?
That's right. So the Boomers Freedom Formula, or BFF, my daughter said, Mom, how come you have a BFF? You know what that stands for?
No.
Well, best friend forever. So,
oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay.
So our BFF, hopefully we are your BFF. This formula that we put together, it's very interactive. It's very one-on-one, and it's answer to your question, your more of tailored to your needs. Okay, we want to personalize, we want to customize, and to help you within this system. This system is not one size fits all. It's something that we will work with individual, and it's in the format of a webinar.
Absolutely, yeah. And a reason for webinar is, and we're gonna change slide here. The reason for webinar is we really believe in interaction.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you're just looking at a screen and you start to read and you get bored and you're tempted to click on something else, and first thing you know, like, you're gone and you totally forgot why you were looking at the screen in the first place. With our webinars, and we're excited to share with you that there's a new one, actually not a new one, but a completely revamped webinars that is coming up very soon. And you know, where we believe that one of, again, the key ingredient is the interaction, is being able to, throughout the webinar, if you've got a question, then you've got the ability to ask that question. It could be something very specific to you. And there is even the possibility, if you have something that is very detailed, a very good question, but too involved, if you will, for the webinar, then we will answer that. We will take the time after the webinar to actually answer that question for you one-on-one. So that's what it is. It's basically, again, all the theory, all the concepts, all the goodies that we've talked about is, you put that into an actual live webinar where it's interactive and where not only can you ask questions, but you learn from questions that are being asked by other participants at the webinar.
Yeah, and with our webinar, we want to help you to start right, to outperform 50% of the industry network marketers.
Yeah.
Right? So that's our goal.
Yeah, and how we do that again is, you may wonder, well, how can you make that promise of, I'm going to be in the top half? Support and interaction is key, so that you are not left on your own. You don't get discouraged too easily, and you will even have the opportunity to team up with other people. They may not even be with your company, but accountability is what makes such a big difference. The ability to share your frustrations,
yes,
and your success with other people.
We can celebrate together.
Absolutely.
So anything else, Jermaine?
No, I think, do we have another slide? I'm not sure, actually. Oh, yes. There's going to be a registration button right at the bottom of the screen.
Yes.
So we would encourage you to go there, to explore, to find out more. And again, even it's not too late, although the webinar is almost done in terms of content. If you've got questions, if you've got topics, if you've got concerns, anything that you would like us, Ginny and I, to address during that webinar, if we know in advance, we will do our very best to try to cover that one way or another.
Yeah, so everything start taking actions. So right now, your action is to click the button below, and then we will see you in our webinar.
Absolutely. Again, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.